Check. Check. Hello. Hello. Check. Check. E. Hello. Check. Hello. Sound check. Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we commence this ceremony, I request you to kindly place your mobile phones on silent or flight mode. For your convenience, restrooms are located on the left-hand side of the enclosure and refreshment area is arranged adjacent to the seating area on your left side. In the unlikely event of any unforeseen situation, our team of ushers will guide you towards the exit. After the flag-off ceremony, guests are requested to proceed for refreshments. This will be announced separately. Commissioned in the year 2013, INS Sunayna has been at the forefront of maritime security, anti-piracy operations, humanitarian missions across the Indian Ocean region. Today, in her new avatar as IOS Sagar, the vessel represents not just India's naval strength, but its commitment to regional cooperation and shared maritime prosperity. वर्ष 2013 में कमीशन हुआ आईएनएस सुनैना भारतीय महासागर क्षेत्र में समुद्री सुरक्षा, समुद्री डकैती विरोधी अभियानों तथा मानवीय सहायता कार्यों में अग्रणी रहा है। आज अपने नए अवतार में आईओएस सागर के रूप में यह पोत केवल भारत की नौसैनिक शक्ति ही नहीं, बल्कि क्षेत्रीय सहयोग और साझा समृद्धि के प्रति हमारी प्रतिबद्धता का भी प्रतीक है। IOS Sagar is designed as a unique operational engagement program that enables naval personnel from friendly foreign countries to train and sail together on board an Indian naval ship. By integrating international participants into shipboard activities and professional training modules, the initiative promotes practical cooperation, interoperability, and shared understanding of maritime operations. Sailing across the Indian Ocean, INS Sunayna, an offshore patrol vessel of the Indian Navy, stands repurposed as Indian Ocean Ship Sagar, a guardian of collective maritime interests. With crew embarking from 16 friendly foreign navies, the ship will play a crucial role in promoting maritime security and stability across the seas, truly embodying the ethos of one ocean, one mission. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Admiral Dinesh Kumar Tripathi, Param Vishesh Seva Medal, Ati Vishesh Seva Medal, Nausena Medal, Chief of the Naval Staff, I, Lieutenant Commander Mayank Bhalla, welcome you all to the flagging off ceremony of IOS Sagar. Today, we gather in the maximum city of Mumbai at this historical naval dockyard to mark the start of a unique voyage, the second edition of IOS Sagar. The IOS Sagar initiative reaffirms India's commitment to the collaborative maritime security in the Indian Ocean region. The second edition includes participation from 16 nations of the Indian Ocean region. The initiative builds on India's long-standing maritime cooperation efforts and reflects the Government of India's vision of security and growth for all in the region, Sagar, while also advancing the broader framework of MAHASAGAR, mutual and holistic advancement for security across the region. IOS सागर यह दर्शाता है कि भारत हिंद महासागर क्षेत्र में मिलकर समुद्री सुरक्षा बनाए रखने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध है। इस बार इस प्रयास में 16 देशों ने भाग लिया है। ये पहल भारत के प्राचीन समुद्री सहयोग के प्रयासों पर आधारित है और क्षेत्र में सभी के लिए सुरक्षा और विकास के मार्ग को दर्शाती है। Ladies and gentlemen, Vice Admiral Krishna Swaminathan, Param Vishish Seva Medal, Ati Vishish Seva Medal, Vishish Seva Medal, Flag Officer Commanding in Chief, Western Naval Command, has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, we now await the arrival of Admiral Dinesh Kumar Tripathi, Chief of the Naval Staff. Ladies and gentlemen, Admiral Dinesh Kumar Tripathi, PVSM, AVSM, NM, Chief of the Naval Staff, has arrived. We now await the arrival of our chief guest for today's ceremony, Shri Sanjay Seth, Honorable Minister of State for Defence.
Check.
Ladies and gentlemen, our chief guest for today's flagging off ceremony, Shri Sanjay Seth, Honorable Minister of State for Defence, has arrived.
Honorable Raksha Rajya Mantri, Shri Sanjay Seth, Admiral Dinesh Kumar Tripathi, Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Krishna Swaminathan, Flag Officer Commanding-in-Chief of the Western Naval Command, Flag Officers, distinguished guests, including from the friendly foreign countries, as also the media. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all of you. Indian Ocean Ship Sagar is a unique, one-of-its-kind initiative that was launched last year. It stemmed from the acknowledgement that the maritime challenges that we all face, such as piracy, smuggling, illegal and unregulated fishing, to name just a few, all require a coordinated response, sustained engagement, and mutual trust between like-minded maritime nations. IOS Sagar is an honest attempt at converting theory into action, where a designated ship, the INS Sunayna that you see in front of you, has been recast as the Indian Ocean Ship Sagar. IOS Sagar is manned and operated collectively by officers and sailors from across the oceans. And this gives new meaning to the crucial aspects of joint training, collective response, and shared experiences, not just in meetings and conferences ashore, but under actual real-life conditions at sea. Last year's edition saw IOS Sagar embark 44 personnel from navies and maritime agencies from 9 countries from the Indian Ocean region. The ship undertook EEZ surveillance and port calls in the southern Indian Ocean from March to May last year. The ship's crew worked hard and played hard. Most importantly, they did all of this together as one team, and thereby they demonstrated that it is possible to take such initiatives off the drawing board and into the operational domain. In effect, the IOS Sagar initiative has succeeded in translating intent into action. Through Sagar's second deployment this year in 2026, we intend to build on last year's experience by expanding the scope of this initiative. India has recently assumed the chairmanship of the Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, or IONS as it is commonly called, and we would endeavor to align the Sagar initiative with the IONS priorities of capability enhancement, information sharing, and collective maritime security. The ship, whose crew comprises personnel from 16 partner nations, will now deploy to the Bay of Bengal and also to the southern and eastern Indian Ocean. Once again, the crew will all work, train, and operate together. And regardless of nationality, they would all sail for a common purpose, which remains security and growth for all in the region. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to draw your attention to the screen to witness the journey of IOS Sagar.
The Indian Ocean covers almost 20% of the Earth's surface. It is a lifeline for Indian Ocean region countries because food, energy, bulk, cargo, everything that we need in day-to-day life traverses through these shared waters. Yet, these waters also face complex challenges. Maritime threats such as piracy, trafficking, illegal fishing, which are transnational in nature, continue to test our collective resolve. Therefore, strengthening maritime partnerships under Government of India mission of safety and growth for all in the region is the automatic way ahead. Indian Ocean Ship Sagar is one such initiative of the Indian Navy, bringing together naval personnel from 16 friendly nations across various specializations, wherein these personnel will train together to evolve.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will restart the movie.
The Indian Ocean covers almost 20% of the Earth.
I now request Chief of the Naval Staff, Admiral Dinesh Kumar Tripathi, to address the gathering.
Honorable Raksha Rajya Mantri, Shri Sanjay Seth ji, Vice Admiral Krishna Swaminathan, Flag Officer Commanding in Chief, Western Naval Command, Flag Officers, Op and Area Commanders, participants of Indian Ocean Ship Sagar from 16 partner nations, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen, we have assembled here at the Naval Dockyard in Mumbai to flag off the second edition of Indian Ocean Ship Sagar. I extend my sincere gratitude to Raksha Rajya Mantri ji for being here with us today. Sir, your presence reflects the unwavering commitment of our national leadership towards strengthening maritime cooperation in the region. As our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji had said, and I quote, our vision for the Indian Ocean region is rooted in advancing cooperation in our region and to use our capabilities for the benefit of all in our common maritime home. Guided by such words, an inclusive vision of MAHASAGAR, we have witnessed a strategic continuum in our national efforts towards enhancing maritime cooperation in the region. This year alone, we have had what we call the Maritime Mahakumbh in February at Visakhapatnam, comprising the International Fleet Review, the multinational exercise Milan, and the Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, which saw participation of 74 countries. And today, we carry that momentum forward with the flag off of IOS Sagar. Today's flag off also builds upon the remarkable success of the maiden deployment undertaken last year in the same month, in April, and marks yet another significant step in our collective efforts towards enhancing maritime security and stability in the region. Ladies and gentlemen, this deployment comes at a crucial juncture when the global order is in a state of constant flux and friction, and more disproportionate than in the maritime domain, which often becomes the first arena of contestation. With the conflict in West Asia well into its fifth week, the disruptions in the Straits of Hormuz have caused severe economic impact and energy instability in the region. At the same time, competition at sea has no longer remained confined to oil and energy. It is now expanding towards resources that will shape future growth, such as rare earth elements, critical minerals, new fishing grounds, and even data. As a result, there is a significant increase in the marine survey, deep sea research activity, and illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, often encroaching upon the sovereign rights of littoral nations and exploiting gaps in monitoring and enforcement. Alongside these, threats such as piracy, armed robbery, and narco trafficking, backed by unimpeded access to advanced technology to non-state actors, have also become more complex and challenging to counter. Last year alone, the IOR witnessed a staggering 3,700 maritime incidents of varying nature. Additionally, narcotics seizure in the region exceeded $1 billion in 2025, highlighting the persistence and spread of such challenges in our region. In such a complex maritime environment, marked by intense contestation and uneven enforcement, the coming together of 16 like-minded maritime nations for a shared purpose and collective commitment through IOS Sagar is rare and significant. Such an initiative where platforms, resources, and people are pulled together for maritime security enhancements sets a strong example not only for the Indian Ocean region but for the wider global maritime community. In such exceptional spirit of collaboration, IOS Sagar will traverse the southeastern Indian Ocean region over the next 50 days and would strengthen bonds, enhance interoperability, and deepen mutual understanding among participating nations. No such initiative can be realized without a clear convergence and wholehearted cooperation in both spirit and action. Here, I would like to acknowledge the strong support of our partner nations who have not only placed their trust in this endeavor, but have also come forward with even wider participation than the previous edition. I would like to congratulate all stakeholders involved in the planning and execution of this deployment, which I am sure would be a grand success. And to the commanding officer and the international crew, you are the ambassadors of a shared destiny of nearly 2.7 billion people in this region, whose shores are washed by the Indian Ocean. I wish you fair winds, following seas, and a professionally enriching and collectively memorable experience on board the Indian Ocean Sagar. In the end, ladies and gentlemen, as we approach the celebration of our 63rd National Maritime Day, a couple of days from now, the flag of IOS Sagar adds a befitting chapter to our rich maritime heritage and legacy, while reaffirming our commitment to free, safe, and open Indian Ocean. With this, I would like to thank once again our chief guest, Raksha Rajya Mantri, Shri Sanjay Seth ji, for gracing this significant occasion. Samno Varun, Jai Hind, Jalme Vyas, Valme Vitas.
धन्यवाद महोदय। मैं अब हमारे मुख्य अतिथि माननीय श्री संजय सेठ, रक्षा राज्य मंत्री जी से अनुरोध करता हूं कि वे सभा को संबोधित करें।
Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi, Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Krishna Swaminathan, Flag Officer commanding Western Command, Senior Officer of the Indian Navy, distinguished representatives of our 16 partner nations, honors guests, esteemed members of the media, and my dear friends, and very good afternoon to all of you. It is a privilege to stand before you today as we flag off IOS Sagar 26 on board INS Sunayna. This initiative is not merely a demonstration of India's maritime capability. It is a reflection of our collective vision. Leadership through partnership, strength through unity, and progress through peace. It represents how India sees its role in the maritime domain and how we engage constructively with the wider world. Today, our neighborhood is undergoing significant transformation shaped by economic shifts, political developments, and increasing engagement by external actors. At the same time, new and evolving challenges such as grey zone tactics, cyber operations, information manipulation, and the growing importance of space are redefining the security landscape. In such an environment, security has become increasingly technology-driven and interconnected, requiring deeper cooperation and coordinated responses. It is particularly meaningful to be here today, as this very location recently witnessed the return of INS Sunayna from Oman, symbolizing the growing maritime cooperation between India and Oman. IOS Sagar 26 carried forward that spirit of engagement, expanding it into a broader and more inclusive framework of regional partnership. आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के सक्षम नेतृत्व में आज भारत की नीति बिल्कुल स्पष्ट है। नेवरहुड फर्स्ट, महासागर 12 मार्च 2025 को मॉरिशस में विजन महासागर, म्यूचुअल एंड होलिस्टिक एडवांसमेंट फॉर सिक्योरिटी एंड ग्रोथ अक्रॉस रीजन की घोषणा की, जिसका उद्देश्य ग्लोबल साउथ के देशों के साथ मिलकर विकास, क्षमता निर्माण और साझा सुरक्षा को मजबूत करना है। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने सरल शब्दों में समझाया, इट शैल encompass the ideas of trade for development, capacity building for sustainable growth and mutual security for shared future. साथियों, विजन महासागर केवल एक नीति नहीं है, बल्कि भारत की पूरी समुद्री सोच का प्रतिबिंब है। और आईओएस सागर उसी सोच का धरातल स्वरूप है, जहां हम केवल संवाद तक सीमित नहीं रहते, बल्कि साथ मिलकर काम करते हैं, सीखते हैं, सहयोग की वास्तविकता में बदलाते हैं। यह पहल साफ तौर पर दिखती है कि समुद्री सुरक्षा तब सबसे मजबूत बनती है जब सभी देश मिलकर काम करें। और जैसा कि आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा, ए फ्री, ओपन, इंक्लूसिव इंडो पैसिफिक इज इन द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ ऑल नेशंस। India has consistently worked to amplify the voice of the global south, ensuring that concern and aspirations of developing nations are meaningfully represented in global discourse. IOS Sagar reflects the commitment by fostering inclusive participation and shared learning. The mission has been structured in the phased manner. The harbor phase, conducted from 16th to 29th March, enabled professional exchanges, training, and the coordination among participating personnel. The sea phase, from today, 2nd of April to 20th May 26, will further strengthen these engagements through operational deployment across the southeastern India Ocean region. The training modules, including seamanship, navigation, communication, procedures, maritime safety, firefighting, damage control, and VBSS operations, and advancement bridgemanship are designed to enhance operational readiness and decision-making capabilities in complex maritime environments. India's security approach remains guided by zero tolerance towards terrorism, respect for nation sovereignty, and the ability to respond in a credible and swift and capitated manner. Our approach is clear. Wherever possible, we purpose for cooperation where necessary. We demonstrate firmness. Recent operations, including Operation Sindoor, reflect India's resolve to remain vigilant and capable in safeguarding its national interests. Increasing jointness among the three services continues to strengthen our overall defense preparedness. At the same time, the lesson from the recent experiences underline the importance of the synergy, enhanced surveillance, and efficient logistics, and the growing prevalence of cyber, information, and space domains in the modern options. The character of warfare is evolving rapidly with the emerging technologies such as drones, artificial intelligence, and ISR system. Redefining operational paradigms, cyberspace have become a critical domains. Initiatives such as IOTEP and Samad reflect India's commitment to preparing these future challenges through innovation and integration. India's efforts toward defense modernization and Atmanirbhar Bharat under the leadership and the guidance of our Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath Singh ji have resulted in significant advancement in the indigenous capabilities, including platforms such as Tejas, Akash, ATACS, and wide range of naval assets. These efforts not only strengthen national security, but also contribute to regional stability. Under the visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji and the able guidance of Honorable Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh ji, India is witnessing a remarkable transformation in its defense sector. Friends, I would like to highlight a matter of great pride for all of us. Our defense exports have reached an all-time high, 38,444 crore. 38,424 crore in financial year, this year 25-26, registering in the impressive growth over 62% compared to the previous year. The significant rise of over 14,802 crore is not just a number. It reflects the growing global confidence in India's indigenous defense capabilities and advanced manufacturing strength. Today, India is not only securing its border with strength and determination, but also emerging as a trusted partner in global defense supply chains. These achievements stand as a testament to our commitment towards Atmanirbhar Bharat and excellence in defense production. This is not just progress. This is not just progress. It is a powerful signal that India is moving ahead with confidence, capability, and global credibility. The maritime domain today presents both opportunities and challenges. From piracy and trafficking to climate-related risks and disruptions, these challenges require collective and coordinated responses. IOS Sagar addresses through shared exercises in strengthening interoperability, building trust, enhancing the collective capability. India's approach is anchored in responsibility, reliability, and respect in the interest norms. The Indian Navy continues to play a central role in promoting stability, security, and cooperation across the region, reinforcing India's position as dependable maritime partner. At its core, the success of this mission lies in its people. Therefore, the officers and sailors who will work together, learn from one another, and build lasting professional relationship. This human connection will remain the strongest foundation for future cooperation. साथियों, यदि हम पीछे मुड़कर देखें तो पाएंगे कि भारत की नौसेना परंपरा हजारों वर्ष पुरानी थी। लोथल के प्राचीन बंदरगाहों से लेकर द्वारका, कलिंगा, चोल साम्राज्य और छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज तक हमारे लिए समुद्र कभी बाधा नहीं रहा, बल्कि व्यापार, विस्तार और सुरक्षा का सशक्त माध्यम रहा है। हमारी पहचान हमेशा ज्ञान, विज्ञान और उन्नत समुद्री कौशल से जुड़ी रही है। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नौसेना दिवस पर 2023 में उन्होंने कहा था, इसी विरासत को पुनर्जीवित करने पर बल दिया था, और आज हम उसी दिशा में आगे बढ़ते हुए खरीदार नौसेना से निर्माता नौसेना और तटीय क्षमता से ब्लू वाटर नेवी बनने की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं। फ्रेंड्स, विरासत और विकास यही विकसित भारत 2047 का मार्ग है। आईओएस सागर उसी सोच का जीवंत उदाहरण है। यह पहल केवल एक मशीन नहीं, बल्कि हमारी प्राचीन समुद्री विरासत को आधुनिक समय में नई शक्ति, नई दिशा और वैश्विक सहयोग के साथ पुनः स्थापित करने का बेहतर प्रयास है। IOS Sagar 26 is not merely a voyage, it is a reflection of our shared commitment to cooperation, dialogue and partnership. It represents a collective aspiration for stronger ties, deeper trust and secure, inclusive and forward-looking Indian Ocean. This mission truly embodies the spirit of one ocean, one mission. Friends, before I concluding my speech, please allow me to recite one of my poem on the rich heritage of our Indian Navy. वेदों की नौकाओं से द्वारका के बंदरगाहों से, वेदों की नौकाओं से द्वारका के बंदरगाहों से, कलिंग के महान समुद्र यात्रियों से, चोलों की ब्लू वाटर नेवी से और शिवाजी महाराज की अद्वितीय मैरीटाइम विजन से बनी हुई एक शक्तिशाली परंपरा। हमारे पूर्वजों ने समुद्र को केवल देखा नहीं, उसे समझा, अपनाया और जीता भी। आज जब भारत इंडियन ओशन को नेतृत्व कर रहा है, तो याद रखिए, हम समुद्र शक्ति के नए युग में जा रहे हैं। हम अपने पुराने गौरव को फिर से जगा रहे हैं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जय भारत, जय हिंद।
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, as you all can see, the crew of IOS Sagar is embarking the ship to welcome the Honorable Raksha Rajya Mantri on board. They will now form up for a group photograph with the chief guest on the helideck. I now request the Honorable Raksha Rajya Mantri to embark the ship. I now request the Chief of the Naval Staff to present a memento to the Honorable Raksha Rajya Mantri. Thank you, sir. While the Honorable Raksha Rajya Mantri is visiting INS Vela, I would like to reiterate that as part of the second edition of IOS Sagar, naval personnel from 16 friendly foreign countries will be participating in the program. IOS Sagar is a pioneer effort aimed at bringing together the navies and maritime agencies of the Southwest Indian Ocean region on an Indian naval platform. The mission serves as an opportunity to provide comprehensive training to sea riders and marks an unprecedented collaboration in maritime security. IOS सागर एक अग्रणी पहल है जिसका उद्देश्य दक्षिण पश्चिम हिंद महासागर क्षेत्र की नौसेनाओं और समुद्री एजेंसियों को भारतीय नौसेना के एक मंच पर एक साथ लाना है। ये मिशन मित्र देशों के सी राइडर्स को व्यापक प्रशिक्षण प्रदान करने का एक अवसर है और समुद्री सुरक्षा के क्षेत्र में अभूतपूर्व सहयोग का दर्शाता है। IOS Sagar will play a crucial role in shaping the future of the Indian Ocean region. With this mission, India once again reaffirms its commitment to building strong ties with its maritime neighbors and working towards a safer, more inclusive and secure maritime environment in the Indian Ocean region. IOS Sagar हिंद महासागर क्षेत्र की भविष्य को आकार देने में एक महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाएगा। इस मिशन के माध्यम से भारत एक बार फिर अपने समुद्री पड़ोसी देशों के साथ साझेदारी बनाने की और हिंद महासागर में एक सुरक्षित और समावेशी वातावरण की दिशा में कार्य करने की अपनी प्रतिबद्धता को दोहराता है। Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to draw your attention to the screens to witness the journey of IOS Sagar.
The Indian Ocean covers almost 20% of the Earth's surface. It is a lifeline for Indian Ocean region countries because food, energy, bulk, cargo, everything that we need in day-to-day life traverses through these shared waters. Yet, these waters also face complex challenges. Maritime threats such as piracy, trafficking, illegal fishing, which are transnational in nature, continue to test our collective resolve. Therefore, strengthening maritime partnerships under Government of India mission of safety and growth for all in the region is the automatic way ahead. Indian Ocean Ship Sagar is one such initiative of the Indian Navy, bringing together naval personnel from 16 friendly nations across various specializations, wherein these personnel will train together to evolve common operating procedures to facilitate interoperability between IOR navies. Whilst training at Southern Naval Command, the crew of IOS Sagar will be trained from basic seamanship and navigation skills to boarding procedures and training on state-of-art simulators. After the 2-week harbor training, the ship with this multinational crew will be deployed in the Indian Ocean region, traversing 7 countries. I wish our colleagues from friendly countries a successful deployment, fostering deeper maritime understanding and strengthening our partnership across the seas.
Jai Hind, I am Commander Siddharth Chaudhary, Commanding Officer of Indian Naval Ship Sunayna, which has been designated as the Indian Ocean Ship Sagar. I am privileged to command this ship, which comprises of a crew of personnel from the Indian Navy and 16 partner nations. Each and every officer and sailor on this ship brings together a unique perspective, knowledge and experience, and together we embody the very spirit of security and growth for all in the region.
I'm Lieutenant Abdullah from Maldives National Defence Force participating in IOS Sagar.
We had an opportunity to visit INS Sunayna.
It's an honor and privilege for me to be here. Today we have come to seamanship school for the seamanship training base.
Introduction of modern ropes, anchors, cables, and so many things. And we have also learned about replenishment at sea, which is a very important training for seafarers and new technologies.
So far, it's the best seamanship school I've ever attended.
Ladies and gentlemen, during its voyage, IOS Sagar will undertake maritime engagement activities and port visits, enabling interaction with partner navies and maritime agencies across the region. These engagements are intended to strengthen professional linkages, encourage exchange of best practices, and foster a deeper understanding of shared maritime challenges. Honorable Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath Singh flagged off INS Sunayna as IOS Sagar in Karwar, Karnataka on 5th April 2025. The flagging off of the ship with 44 naval personnel from 9 friendly foreign nations marked a significant step in reinforcing India's commitment to regional maritime security and cooperation. Today will mark the commencement of the second edition of IOS Sagar with the naval crew from 16 friendly nations, reaffirming India's commitment to collaborative maritime security in the Indian Ocean region. As the harbour tugs come alongside, lines are carefully passed and secured with practiced precision by the crew. Under the watchful eye of the bridge of IOS Sagar, berthing lines are singled up and let go, the ship slowly coming alive for departure at sea. जैसे ही हार्बर टग्स जहाज के पास आते हैं, रस्सियों को जहाज के सैनिकों द्वारा सटीकता से फेंककर बांध दिया जाता है। आप सभी जन देख सकते हैं कि ब्रिज की निगरानी में जहाज IOS सागर प्रस्थान के लिए तैयार होने लगा है। INS Sunayna is the second Saryu-class patrol vessel of the Indian Navy, designed and constructed indigenously by Goa Shipyard Limited. The keel of INS Sunayna was laid on September 25, 2007, and the ship was rendered afloat on November 14, 2009. In its glorious commission, the warship has contributed in numerous fleet support operations, coastal and offshore patrolling, ocean surveillance, monitoring of sea lines of communication and offshore assets, as also escort duties. The warship is equipped with 176 mm gun with an electro-optic fire control system, close-in weapon systems and chaff launchers. INS सुनैना भारतीय नौसेना का दूसरा सरयू श्रेणी का पोत है, जिसे गोवा शिपयार्ड लिमिटेड द्वारा डिज़ाइन और निर्मित किया गया है। इस जहाज की कील बिछाने का कार्य 25 सितंबर 2007 को किया गया था और इसने पहली बार 14 नवंबर 2009 को जल में प्रवेश किया। अपने गौरवपूर्ण सेवा वर्षों में इस युद्ध पोत ने अनेक फ्लीट सपोर्ट अभियानों, समुद्री निगरानी, समुद्री संचार मार्गों और संसाधनों की निगरानी तथा एस्कॉर्ट ड्यूटीज़ में महत्वपूर्ण योगदान दिया है। ये युद्ध पोत एक 76 mm तोप, इलेक्ट्रो ऑप्टिक फाइबर कंट्रोल सिस्टम्स, क्लोज इन वेपन सिस्टम्स तथा चैफ लॉन्चर से सुसज्जित है। Ladies and gentlemen, IOS Sagar will shortly be flagged off by the Honorable Raksha Rajya Mantri and commence her departure from the tidal basin of the Naval Dockyard. With a coordinated pull from the tugs and clear orders ringing out, the vessel begins a smooth transition from being berthed alongside to open waters, marking the start of her next passage. Ladies and gentlemen, IOS Sagar has now been flagged off. I request you all to put your hands together and give a big round of applause, wishing her fair winds, following seas and fathoms below her keel. Ladies and gentlemen, I now request all guests to kindly proceed for refreshments. The enclosure is towards your left. मैं सभी दर्शकों से निवेदन करता हूं कि जलपान के लिए प्रस्थान करें. जलपान स्थल आपकी बाईं ओर है.